to the 2016 NCAA Division II Women's Basketball Elite Eight News Conference here at the Sanford Pentagon in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I am Nick Cornder, the media coordinator for this year's championship. Today we are joined by the 8 head coaches from the participating teams. We will begin with an opening question that I will ask each coach, and then we will open it up for questions from the media. We will ask in order that the teams will play with the home team going first. So we will open up with Florida Southern head coach Betsy Harris. Coach, you went from winning 13 games last year to winning 27 this season. What has been the biggest contributing factor to that improvement from last year to this year?
The biggest thing is just mentality of the kids. Before I got there, they had a losing mentality, and they were content with it. That was something that they were fine with as long as they played, and if they lost, they were cool with it. So then I came in, and I hate losing. Pretty competitive. I actually had one girl leave the team last year and said, "All you do is talk about winning, coach." Well, now she's at another school, and we're in the Elite Eight, so it worked out pretty good. But that was the biggest thing. They came in with a different work ethic. They actually wanted to win games. We started off 8-0, and they liked it. My first year we had a slogan. It was "Make it a habit," and it was winning. So we wanted to make winning a habit. So we just carried it on to this year, and it became a habit. When you embed it constantly into the kids' heads, it just repetition. It becomes a habit. So that's what happened with these kids. I kept some of the kids. We put some new kids. Just put new pieces into the puzzle. We still got a couple more pieces we need to get, but they've just bought into it. When you first go into a school or go into a program, you've got kids that are still loyal to the old coach, and if they're still loyal to the old coach by the end of the year, you just have to change things. And that's what we had to do with a couple of kids, great kids. They just didn't fit. So this team, they just got great chemistry on and off the court. They entertain a lot of people when we go to pregame meals, postgame meals. So they're great kids, but I know I've rambled a lot, but that's just my southern self. But the biggest thing is just mentality, and I guess these coaches can tell you that's really sports. It's just how you think. It's not all on talent. It's not all on athletic ability. It's how you think. And that's what I got them to do, is just believe in themselves and just have a tough mentality. And so that's what we've done.
All right, thanks, Coach. Up next from Lubbock Christian University, head coach Steve Gomez. Coach, what has more pressure, going into the Elite Eight as the #1 ranked team, or going into a game to face UConn as your team did this exhibition season?
Well, obviously this is a great opportunity to be here. That was an opportunity to set us up against the best there is, and just to see not obviously how well we can compete against them, but if we could win a possession. I mean, we were going into that, let's win a possession. And we got up 2-0, and man, I just wanted to stop time. It was awesome. But a few minutes later, by halftime, it was over, and we just enjoyed the rest of the game. But that was a lot of pressure, but not in a negative sense at all. It started at even the beginning of the year, early season workouts of, we've got to be focused, because by November 2nd, when we go to Hartford, Connecticut, we better be at least competitive. And so at this point now, this is a totally different deal. We knew that was sort of for fun and a challenge, and this is, carries a little bigger stakes because we want to continue to win possessions. And that's our focus. The undefeated thing, I mean, nobody plans on going undefeated. Nobody can set that up. There's a lot of fortunate things have to happen. I mean, we've had a lot of good breaks happen, and we've made shots, other teams have missed them, and it just worked out. But we just got to go into a game and against a quality team. Everybody here knows all of us by a bounce of a ball could not be here. One possession, one rebound, one out of bounds call. There's so much that goes into it. So we just had a lot of fortunate things go our way. And so right now, again, the pressure situation, though, I mean, if a basketball game is going to be the pressure we face in life, then if that's the highest pressure we face, then thank God. Because there's so much bigger things in life than winning a basketball game. And so the pressure to compete, as coaches, we all love it. We want to do the best. But when it comes down to it, if this is the end game, then we've got to find something else.
Thanks, Coach. Move to the 2:30 game, and we'll start with Virginia Union head coach Anne-Marie Gilbert. Coach, This is your first year at the helm at Virginia Union. Can you tell us what challenges you faced and how you overcame them to put your team in this year's Elite Eight?
As was mentioned by Coach Harris here, really just the mentality of the team that I inherited. It was a 9-18 team, and um, a little bit of the winning culture that has existed at Virginia Union in years past. It just wasn't there. So really, we just came in trying to build trust, a sense of family first, and just in order to get the buy-in. And once we got the buy-in, things really started to fall into place. Our athletic director has a slogan that we all operate by, and that is really to be a champion on game day, you got to be practice being a champion every day. And there are a lot of kids who want to show up on game day. They don't want to practice hard during the week. They're like, hey, coach, I'm going to make the big plays on game day. We all know that's not true. Not if you want to compete consistently on this stage and even a bigger stage. So really just changing the mindset and getting our kids to understand it is about every possession, every play. Success is in the details. We focus a lot on just little things, 50-50 balls, just taking charges, diving on the floor, all of the things that lead to excellence and you having a chance to outlast somebody in a big game. So the biggest challenges were just the mental aspect, getting them to understand how hard this really is and how special of a moment. If you work hard, you can live in a special moment. It's been a magical season for us. So we're really honored to be here.
Thank you, Coach. Virginia Union's opponent in the first round will be Bentley University, coached by Barbara Stevens. Coach, you've brought a number of teams to the Elite Eight. How would you compare this year's teams to some of those other teams you brought?
Well, we've been fortunate to have come to a few Elite Eights. Each team is different. There's no question. Some of our teams, I think, that have reached this level have probably had more experience. There've been more veterans on the team. When we were fortunate to win the national championship in 2014, we had 7 seniors on the team, and I think experience and veteran leadership is so important at this stage of the game. So why we're here, I don't know, but because we have 8 sophomores and freshmen on our team, and have had really significant help from our freshman class. So this was a little bit unexpected for us in the sense that we thought we would be better, certainly, than last year, but we had no idea that our team would continue to grow and continue to develop as the season went on. And by the time it was NCAA East Regional time, I felt like our team had as good a shot to win the regional as anybody else. So honestly, this is probably a group that I'm very excited to be here with because they're enjoying it so much. It wasn't like in 2014 where we pretty much had to be here. This team has enjoyed every single step of the way.
Thank you, Coach. Up next is our 6 p.m. game where we have the University of Alaska Anchorage and head coach Ryan McCarthy. Coach, as a Division II program, you are in a unique position of representing an entire state. Do you and your players, especially with so many homegrown Alaskans on your roster, embrace that aspect, or do you feel like it adds more pressure?
Yeah, Alaska's a special place. I don't think there's a state like it. I've made recruiting trips to places you can't drive to. Our shooting guard is from a small village of about 175 people that either you can take a boat on the Yukon River or you fly in a bush plane. They don't have an airport or anything like that. You just kind of land and they pick you up in an ATV and take you to the gym. and we've got some young ladies from warm weather states. My starting point guard's from Honolulu, Hawaii, and they all get the opportunity to represent the state of Alaska on our largest stage. I mean, if we sign a kid, it's going to be on the front page of the newspaper. I mean, we got our news crew from Anchorage here. They have press conferences every Tuesday. All of our home games are televised throughout the state of Alaska, and I think it gives the ladies a great opportunity to develop those skills, because those are skills they're going to need after the game is taken from them. And in the United States, you get 4 years to do that, and they take it away. And so I think in our situation, we get an awesome opportunity to represent a state that's very special, and we get to play for the name on our chest, which is Alaska. So we totally embrace that.
Thank you very much. Their opponent will be Francis Marion and head coach Jerry Porter. Coach, the Francis Marion program has gone from a 20-loss season a year ago to a 24-win campaign and a regional championship in your first year. What has been the key factor in your team's dramatic turnaround?
I think for us, it has been, as has been said a couple times, I think it's been buy-in. In every situation I've ever stepped into, even when you step into a program where the culture tends to be, the mindset tends to be a losing one, kids still fight change a little bit, just because by nature that's what we do. We just don't like change. And this group embraced it. They really did. From the first 6 a.m. workout in September until this very moment, I can honestly say that in over 20 years of coaching, this is probably the group I've had that has complained the least. And that's refreshing for people who've been doing it for a long time. They have embraced everything we've asked them to do. They really were looking to connect. The relationships have been very important to us in terms of getting to know each other, players and coaches, and understanding that it was those relationships that I think led us to where we were at when we got to our regional tournament. We are a work in progress. We still have a lot of work to do, but because our kids embraced the change, they embraced everything that we asked them to do, and because we have a group that really fit the style that we wanted to play when we walked into the door. And so we were able to just really ask kids to step into natural roles and do things that we felt like they did pretty well anyway. And so it's been a pretty comfortable transition for all of us. But we're still learning and we're still growing up. We are very young. We've only got 2 seniors on our roster, and we've got 9 or 10 kids who will be back with us next year. So we're excited about where we are and just looking forward to building on this. As has been mentioned, we come from a university where there is a lot of tradition in women's basketball, and that's one of the things that we also embraced. We brought some alumni back and had them talk to the ladies about where Francis Marion women's basketball has been. And our kids are very serious about wanting to make sure that they represent not just our region, but represent our university and our women's basketball program in as excellent a fashion as we can. So we're excited. We're honored to be here, and just looking forward to continue the opportunity to compete as we have all year.
Thank you, Coach. And in our nightcap, we have Grand Valley State and head coach Mike Williams. Coach, what did you learn from being on the coaching staff at Grand Valley when they won the national championship back in 2006?
Being assistant back then, I had a chance to work